All right, I've brought a blind box dram for Scott. So you see what it is. He has no idea. I do think the nose is distinctive enough. You're going to start dialing in pretty quick, if I were to guess. That's my thoughts.
Are you going to do the test it?
I was just getting ready. That was a whole rise thing, but I know it was a little conversational. Because we're going to test it! You don't know what it is style.
Blind box style.
Woo!
We like doing these. You
Yeah.
know, a lot of, when we started doing these, originally people were like, man, you guys got some guts. A lot of people don't want to do that.
All the more.
It's like, hey, we're learning.
Yep.
And the thing is, when you do something blind, it's
I know what you're gonna
unbiased.
say. Right. That's yeah. That's why. By the way, that's why I chose this one specifically. You guys are already getting all. You've seen the title and everything. But
I love the color.
yeah, and your I'm going to say your taste here, I believe, has surpassed mine. When I did the one out of Loveland, I can't even remember the name, and you're like, I get barley. I was floored. I was like, it's an American single malt, man. You called the barley like you made it. That was awesome because that one was different. That was a very different type of dram.
Some days you're more tuned in than I am, and some days I'm more tuned in than you, and some days we're both tuned in.
Well, I like doing all the blind tasting that we do, whether it's a 16-bottle shootout or the blind quick hitters. That's really how you, in my opinion, get in touch with the whiskey.
The nose is kind of light. Sweet rye, bourbon mash bill, cinnamon's dusty. Real similar to the other one we shot earlier tonight.
It's weird. I'm not getting. I know exactly what I.
Cinnamon's. Smells lower ABV. Low 40s, 46 at the most. If it's higher than, I got my nose stuck all the way in there. Oh, 833, by the way.
Whoa. 834.
Sweet. Caramels.
Definitely
lower.
caramels.
Might even be 40%. 43 at the most ABV.
I do like the caramel in this one. Mm-hmm. It's like a caramel brulee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you get... Well, hold on. I won't say it yet. I'll bring it up a little bit later. Let's work through it. I'm going to try a little water. Because I want to say a bunch of things, but as I start to say stuff, I think it will sway you. So I'm going to stay... It's hard, but...
Moot. It's a moo point.
It's a moot point.
A lot of sweetness.
I was at the Wisconsin Dells, but before I went there, I met my brother in Chicago, and I went to Benny's. We did a little layover. He actually lives out in Elgin. But this was a little bit different. I've been kind of looking for it locally. I had not seen it. You might have.
Just because of how light ABV it is, I like the color. There's a lot of sweetness. I'm looking for, there's a certain bourbon out there that's finished in rum casks. So I'm searching to see if that's what this is, and if it's rum notes that I'm getting. It's not really distinguishing itself. If it is, there's a sweetness. It's some sort of an extra, I want to say. to this bourbon whiskey mash bill.
I mean, there's little. If I start to describe it, I think you'll know you'll know at least what I think it compares to, and I think it compares to it fairly well. I will tell you folks in a bit. But it does.
It's not bad.
The caramel's nice.
It's not anything spectacular.
It comes in too light. I agree with you on the ABV.
Finish isn't real strong. It dies off pretty quick. It's got a good flavor. It's got a good mouthfeel.
Search that finish for that extra something. See if you can dive in, because it's in the finish where the little extra something's at. And I was curious if it would harken back to you. But this is hard. I mean, this isn't something that, I mean, I had some family members try it, and none of them are into whiskey, and they were like, it was, and of course they couldn't get the what I thought was the finishing step at all.
Yeah, that's what I say. I mean, it's outside of the bourbon notes, the rye, slight rye. The sweetness is so much on this, it comes off as the extra part to it. But what is it? I haven't gotten it yet.
All right, I am going to say a president, maybe, who came up with the Emancipation Proclamation 7 years ago. Is that?
Well, I know who you're talking about, right, but I don't know what the whiskey is.
So it's not the whiskey. The Lincoln County method.
Oh, Lincoln County method. Gotcha. Mm-hmm. I was like, I don't know a whiskey with the name of Lincoln.
Sorry, I'm going down a. So
really,
it's got the maple charcoal closing filtration.
I haven't got the maple. I haven't got the charcoal.
Dusty.
There's some dust. If there's the maple charcoal filtration, it's very light on this. It's very light. I did think molasses at one point.
The strength out of this one, which surprised me, is the caramel. I mean, I get a lot of caramel in it.
Yeah. And
I really, really like it. I wasn't sure what to expect with this. This is this would be in the realm of the proper pour or proper 12 or whatever it was called by I'm forgetting the UFC fighter now.
Proper 12.
Yeah, the
Conor McGregor.
12, Conor McGregor. So it's in that same realm.
Yeah, and I mean it's not bad. It's nothing outstanding. Short finish, low ABV, 86 on the score.
All right. So this is Bob Dylan's Heaven's Door.
Oh, okay.
All right. This is the straight Tennessee bourbon. They do make another one called an American whiskey, which I believe does not use, and I have it as well. I bought it as well. It doesn't. I think its kicker is that it's not using a virgin oak. So, Tennessee bourbon, straight bourbon whiskey, which was one thing I found interesting again, because can it have that finish and still be a bourbon? Yes, it can.
Yeah.
So we wanted to create a collection of American whiskeys that's in their own style, in their own way, tell a story. Bob Dylan. Our Tennessee straight whiskey aged for a minimum of 7 years, which I liked, and the price point was pretty decent. Is exceptional. Come on, notes of baking spices, vanilla layered over a bed of toasted oak. And I believe somewhere it was talking about.
I do see it's 45% ABV, which is
it was a little higher.
It's hiding that a little bit. I would have swore it was 43 at the most. Really lighter. It could be a Tennessee bourbon. Maybe it doesn't go through the Lincoln County method, or does it?
I think it does. I think I read it. I want to see, because it's what I taste on it. I started thinking, am I just tasting it and I didn't read it? Or do they have it in the promotional stuff?
I'm getting a little bit of the chalkiness.
I got a lot of what I get off of the Jack Daniels, which is why, and I hope I didn't just assume that it's the charcoal maple finish, and that's why they call it Tennessee.
It's just Tennessee bourbon.
Right. Because then they have a straight rye
bourbon whiskey.
And then they have a double barrel whiskey, which I have. I'll have to look. But I get that maple, that final maple filtration system. That's what I taste.
Well, so the Lincoln County method.
There's a double
The
barrel.
Lincoln County method will run the White Dog, the new make spirit, through charred maple.
Right before they barrel it.
Well, they
Or is it at
also
the finish
do, no.
at the
That's the Tennessee method,
Right.
just to do it beforehand.
Okay.
You can. There's some out there, and they're labeled Tennessee bourbons, and they run it after it's been aged. They'll run it through charcoal filters, not maple charcoal. Maybe it's maple. Maybe there's maple, but maybe there's a couple kinds. But there's after it's aged, then they'll run it through.
Because I swear I get that same kind of maple smoky flavors that you get from the old Jack Daniels number 7.
If it's very light. It's lighter than Dickel, if it is. I almost thought it was a wine cask finished bourbon. As much sweetness as there is on there on the tail end.
They're not saying anything about a finish or a maple filtration, so that could have just been my taste buds. Got it. That could be me.
See, I scored it 86.
Yeah, but it is hard to believe that it's 45 though, because it does taste lighter than
Yeah.
45. I would have guessed 43.
86
max.
plus or minus 1. You might say an 87.
So
What was the price
my
point
score would
on
be
it?
right in there. Shoot, I need to write it on there. I want to say it was like 45.99.
Not bad.
So,
Not bad.
but,
And what's the other one? It's just a double barrel. Heaven's Door double barrel whiskey.
let's see.
Are we going to look at it right now too?
You want to?
Let's do it.
All right. Pull it over.
If you want to.
Yeah. So I'll pour this out, and then while you're giving some notes of what you're getting.
Oh no, let's just go into our traveling dummy while you're
Okay.
pouring.
Yeah.
G McWee on Instagram, GEEMCWEE, went to the Tomatin Distillery.
Yes.
He sent the first picture he DM'd us is him pointing into the ledger. So they've got 5 casks in the visitor center that you can bottle your own Tomatin from. They've got a 1990s distillate, so it's 30 some, almost 40 years old. Well, probably depend on 90s when it
One
was.
of those.
That's what you've got.
Yep.
There's a sherry, there's a PX, there's a virgin oak, there's ex bourbon. That might be it. But anyway, so the first picture he sent, he's pointing to the ledger for the 1990s Tomatin.
My name.
He's pointing to Bart's name in it because Bart bought one of those. And you
Right.
get to write down your name in the ledger, what bottle it is, what cask you bought. And then a picture of him actually at the cask filling his bottle.
Fill it. And it's awesome.
Yep.
You fill it all the way
And he
up.
says, Tomatin is legit. I liked them before, but love them now.
Yep.
Yep. Tomatin's doing some great stuff.
All right, so this is the double barrel whiskey as a result of our own barrel finishing process, taking more than a year to complete. We use heavily charred American white oak bourbon barrels to yield a satisfying whiskey with notes of caramel, oak, citrus, and spice. I'm going to tell you, I like the Tennessee one a little bit better than this one, but wait till you get this one. The ABV on this is 50%, which I was very thrilled by.
All right, I'm going to go back to, the Heaven's Door, I got to tell you, it kind of reminds me of the Black Box whiskey a little bit. A little syrupy.
Really? The Black Box whiskey?
833.
Shut up.
I mean, it's just a little
No.
rich, a little syrupy, a little
I pull that
caramely.
over. No.
We're not going to pull that over.
Well, compare if you're going to say that. I wouldn't say that at all. But that is, so I wanted you to try it blind because the name attached to it does bring all kinds of different connotations. So I wanted to see, but what's very intriguing here is the higher ABV, but they don't taste that way. I like the bourbon, Tennessee bourbon one, a lot better on the nose.
Now I
and
see the
taste.
flare. I see the flare on the Tennessee whiskey. They've got someone gave it a 96. All right, so I'm going in.
Although
on
I
the
do
double.
like it better because they're saying the double barrel's a 93. But we need to have our own stamps. That's what we need.
Okay, that's better.
Really? See, I like the Tennessee one better.
Well, and that could be the ABV. A lot of the same flavor notes, the same
50%.
profile. A lot of the same profile, really. Nice cinnamons, caramels, oak. Nice bourbon notes.
It does. It's
Higher
just a
ABV.
little drier, a little more.
Yeah. The
And-
Tennessee whiskey is a little bit smoother.
Yeah, and
Well,
sweeter.
no, it's Tennessee bourbon, not Tennessee
Right,
whiskey.
right.
Tennessee bourbon.
Tennessee bourbon. But there's a little bit more astringency on this double barrel whiskey, but that proof is nice. That 50% is nice.
What was it same price, the same?
Yeah. So they did not have whatever this other one is that they're talking about, which was a rye, or if they did, I missed it. Because I would have grabbed the rye. But I was actually surprised by both these. Now, the family, I ran a little tasting. They don't drink whiskey. They did not like these at all. But they didn't like a lot of good stuff in life. They ended up liking the Jameson's Black Barrel. What was the other one that they really went over? I don't even remember.
I picked up a black barrel a while back too
I
for
love
$32.
The Jameson
It had been a while
Black
since
Barrel's
we'd had
so
it.
good.
Well, it's because my wife's drinking Irish.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh, that's a
I
good
picked
one
it up
for her
for
to
good.
go with.
Well, I like that the double oak or double barrel whiskey. That comes up a couple points. That's about 87, 88 to me. This one
No.
just comes off a lot lighter, a lot sweeter, the Tennessee bourbon.
I don't, we don't go in and do all the research and did they source this? Who did they source it from?
That's sourced, I'll guarantee it.
Oh, yeah. I would say the same. I did start to get a little curious, though, on where. I got to admit that. What do you think, though, overall?
Not bad.
Was it worth a blind test? I mean, I didn't
definitely.
want... Okay.
Definitely. I could see by all the flair and the naming, you might get a little biased before you go in blind. I do like the double barrel. I like the double barrel more than the Tennessee bourbon.
Interesting.
Do you think they were the same price point?
Yeah, oh, they were. Yeah,
I would
'cause
I would buy the double barrel over the Tennessee.
Yep.
But
I had a bunch of it. So, all right, Scotch It. You Scotch gods.
cilantro, dummies.